Hi there, Yang here. Today is December 25th. Merry Christmas. Hoping you staying good. Here is a dark irony to spending Christmas 2025 in California. We spent the first half of the year watching the states burning to the ground, and now we are watching the ashes wash away into the Pacific Ocean. Geographically, as always, is undefeated. If you look at the headlines, you will see rain. You see the National Weather Services issuing a high-risk warning for Los Angeles. You see the I-5 shutting down in the San Fernando Valley. You see secure recruits pulling people out of cars in redwoods. But if you just look at the water, you are missing the point. The water is just the trigger. The gun was loaded back in January. This is what we call the multiplier effect. The reason this storm is life-threatening and not just a wet weekend is because of the burning scars. We had massive wildfires earlier this year in places like San Bernardino. When you burn land that hot, it changes the chemistry of the soil. It creates a waxy layer. The grounds literally stop acting like a sponge and acting like a parking lot. So we have an atmospheric river dumping. What the forecast says could be a foot of rain onto a landscape that physically cannot drink it. It is simple physics. Gravity takes over. The water grabs the ashes, the rocks, and the loose topsoil, and it turns into liquid concrete moving at 30 miles per hour. That's what a debris flow is. It doesn't not just flow a house. It raises it. Think of the California landscape like a giant bathtub. Normally, drain is open, the water flows out, but a wildfire earlier this year effectively shoved a giant stopper in the drain. Now we are turning the shower on the foreblast. That is the storm. The water has now here to go, but over the edge, flooding the bathroom floors. The floor is Los Angeles County. California has always been a geologically violent place. Not every hill is going to slide. The evacuation orders are specifically about 130 homes in the most vulnerable zones. Most people will just have a wet, measurable Christmas, but the pattern is accelerating. The recover time between the fire season and the flood season is hitting zero. They are starting to overlap. Here is the risk that matters for the next decades. It is not mud, it's a money, specifically insurance money. You are looking at a capital flight scenario for California real estate. Insurance companies are masters. They hate uncertainty. But what we are seeing is not uncertainty anymore. It's a certainty. In the last 3 years alone, premiums in these high-risk zones have not just adjusted for inflation, they have verticalized. we are seeing average rate hikes of 34% to 50% year over the year. In some of these Korean neighborhoods, the annual insurance premium has crossed 15,000. If a property is statistically guaranteed to burn in the summer and slide into the ocean in the winter, you cannot insure it. The math implies that private insurers are going to back up and leave. In fact, state farms and all states are really started the exodus back in 2023 and 24. This puts the entire California housing market at a massive risk of becoming uninsurable by the private sector. This puts the entire California housing market. And when the private sector leaves, who stepped in? You do. The federal taxpayers become the insurer of the last resort for the fifth largest economy in the world, while Washington is distracted fighting over security clearances and political lawsuits. The map are changing. Stay dry out of there. See you next time.